For some insight on the optic in tensions, let's turn to Sumit Ganguly, professor of political science at Indiana University. Professor, you've studied the underlying issues between India and Pakistan for years now. How big of an escalation is this between two nuclear powers who in fact have fought 3 wars, 2 of them over Kashmir?
Well, this does represent an important departure for India because it is the first time since the 1971 war between India and Pakistan that Indian fighter jets actually crossed the line of control to strike targets within Pakistan. So it does represent an important break from the past.
Why is this region, Kashmir, so strategically important to both countries?
This is sort of the unfinished business of partition. When the British partitioned the subcontinent in 1947, they could not reach an agreement between India and Pakistan over the status of Kashmir. And consequently, this is an issue that has dogged relations between both sides and has been the site of multiple wars. Pakistan controls about 1/3 of the original state, and India controls about 2/3 of the original state, and multiple attempts at conflict resolution have run aground.
Professor, very different accounts of what happened in this latest incident. Pakistan says Indian aircraft pushed back, that there were no casualties or damage. India has a completely different story, says a very large number of militants were in fact eliminated in this operation. How do we really find out what happened here?
Well, one has to seek independent confirmation, perhaps through satellite imagery and the like, because obviously the Indians have an interest in demonstrating that the strike was a success. Pakistan, of course, has a compelling interest in proclaiming to the world that little or nothing happened, that this was a Pyrrhic victory on the part of India. So one has to be suitably skeptical about the claims of both sides and seek some form of independent confirmation, which could potentially be provided by the United States or maybe Russia, which have access to satellite imagery.
And Pakistan's, it's going to respond. It says it's going to respond at the time and place of its choosing. I'm quoting there. Any ideas what that response by Pakistan would look like?
More than likely, it'll involve at least a series of artillery barrages across the line of control. It may also involve some small incursions, though I think those are unlikely because Indian preparedness is going to be on an exceedingly high level. So more than likely, Pakistan will probably respond by resorting to artillery fire across the line of control where they can inflict significant pain on the Indian side.
And Professor, all of this started earlier in February when some 40 Indian troops were killed. India blames Pakistan, saying it's harboring the militants believed to be behind that attack. So where does that leave things moving forward?
Well, I'm afraid things will be at an impasse for the foreseeable future because the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan, is not the master of his own house. He is completely indebted to the military, and consequently, it is unlikely that he can take any initiative, any meaningful initiative to break the impasse. Prime Minister Modi in India is also caught in a cleft stick because on the one hand, he recognizes the dangers of escalation, but on the other hand, he has a substantial constituency that is baying for blood and is insisting that significant costs be imposed on Pakistan because of the terrorist attack that a Pakistan-based terrorist organization claimed responsibility for. And more to the point, Modi is facing an election in a few months. And consequently, unless he demonstrates a degree of resolve, it could also cost him at the polls.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Professor Sumit Ganguly, thank you.